I'm joined once again by the LFA heavyweight champion, Jeff Hughes, who's going to be taking on Josh Appelt coming up here at Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series on July 24th. Jeff, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing very well, and I appreciate you doing this. I understand you're at work again, like I usually get you. How's work going right now?
It's going pretty good, actually. Only a couple jobs a day, and then I'm heading home.
Yeah, and when do you head to Vegas? Like, how does that work with your work schedule and everything else?
I head out the 21st. I believe it's a Saturday. They're giving me off a bunch of time. They know this is a big opportunity, so they've been really good about it.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity, but I'll be honest, man, I'm a little bit surprised you didn't get that UFC call up directly just with what happened in your last fight, but nevertheless, I guess this is the second best option, am I right, getting on Contender Series?
Absolutely. If this is the last step it takes, then, I'm ready to do it.
How did this all come together with you being on the Contender Series? When did you find out about this?
Actually, I was asked a couple hours after my last fight.
Okay.
And of course I wanted to do it right away. But I have to go through the proper steps and talk to my management and talk to, my coaches and all that. So, yeah, I've known for a while now. So it's actually been great because usually I don't find out this early for a fight.
And you're taking on Josh Appelt, like I mentioned off the top. Were you familiar with him? Because, he's fought in Bellator and a few other promotions. Was he someone you knew, or did you have to look him up after you took the fight?
The name sounded familiar when I got it. But I had to look him up, and I remember seeing the Bobby Lashley fight, like a lot of people did. Yeah, besides that, yeah, I had to. He's not a very hard person to look up, though. Usually you have a hard time finding film on people, but he has a bunch of fights out there, which was actually really nice.
And how has training camp gone for this fight? I know your teammate, unfortunately, Stipe Miocic, I know things didn't go his way last Saturday, but I imagine you got some work in with him before he ended up having his fight.
Yeah, we actually got a lot of work in together, so that was great. It's almost like I've had two training camps for this fight. So I'm ready for this one to be over with. I'm ready to get hit to the fight.
Who are some of the other training partners you got to work with at Strong Style?
Alexa Kimura still, he's a 205er. And some of the guys that Stipe would bring in, I got to train with them. But yeah, mostly just Stipe, a lot with Stipe, a lot of rounds with him.
Have you talked to Stipe since the fight on Saturday?
No, I have not. I don't know how he handles a loss because it's been so long since his last loss.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah, 2013, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, just giving him, whenever he comes back around, everybody's still very supportive of him. We all know he's still the best in the world. That's the beauty of the sport. You get caught. So.
Did you see his pre-fight media scrum? I believe someone by the name of me name dropped you in the scrum there, and he knew who you were. I don't know if you saw that.
I did. Somebody, one of my teammates brought it up. They're like, "Hey, Stipe was talking about you," and then my girlfriend's brother recognized your voice.
Oh, cool.
So
okay.
I had to go see it. So it was pretty. Thank you for that.
No problem. No, I just wanted to make sure we got that in there because when you talk about Stipe, a lot of people don't talk about his training partners, and this is notable in the sense that not only are you an LFA champion, but you're fighting on Contender Series. So in my opinion, it was very relevant. It wasn't just sucking up to you or anything. But that's
appreciate that.
But we often talk about training camp, and is oftentimes harder than the fight itself. Just what you have to go through. I know a big part of that is recovery. I know you've been working a bit with the Terphouse. What has been sort of your recovery these days heading into this fight?
The Terphouse guys are great. They sent me some CBD oil and some of the ointment, and you're going to get bumps and bruises. So I've been using that ointment like crazy. I'm about out of it, so I got to get a hold of them again. Maybe they'll give me some more.
For sure. Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
My head coach is Marcus Marinelli. He's in the corner, and then my kickboxing coach Steve Tracek. He's been with me he's been with me for 7 years now. So he flew out to Vegas with me to do all the filming and stuff for like the commercial and stuff like that. So he's kind of my guy, And then I'm having my boxing coach Alex Cooper come out. He's going to be in the crowd, but it's such a small place that I'm going to be able to hear him.
Yeah, you could drop like a pin in there. It's crazy. They don't have any entrance music or anything like that. It's just very quiet and everything else, right?
It's going to be nice, though. It's almost like a gym environment. So.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. How do you see this fight playing out on the 24th? Knockouts seem to be your thing, but I know you can also go the distance as you've shown in a couple of your fights as well.
I don't plan on going the distance. It just kind of seems to happen. You know, the last two guys were big, gnarly dudes, and they were about impossible to stop. So, but yeah, I plan on the stop. We've been worked on a lot of the problems I was having, and we've fixed a lot of stuff. So, this has been the best training camp I've ever had. You know, I never got out of shape to get back into shape, if that makes sense.
Do you feel like in some ways you're in a great opportunity because no matter what the outcome of this fight, you're still going to be the LFA champion, and as we know, if you're an LFA champion, the chances of you getting signed to the UFC are good. Like, do you feel like your situation's a little bit better than others, just with the sense that you have still a great promotion behind you in LFA?
Yeah, it's a great fallback plan. You know, if Dana, you know, anything could happen in there. I could have a bad fight and not impress him, and then have to go back to LFA, which is the best place to go back to.
Yeah.
But hopefully, you know, nothing against LFA because I think they're great, but this is my time to have that UFC contract. I think, in my opinion.
I agree with that. I completely agree. Have you been watching the Contender series this year? I know it's been tough because you know you got a family and obviously work and everything else. Have you caught any of the episodes?
Yeah, I watched a few of them. I watched, of course, I watched the one with Greg Hardy. I think that was the first week. And then I watched a couple of the fights on the one where like four guys got contracts. So I mean, if they're handing out contracts like that, you know, it's good chance for me to get one.
Would you like to fight Greg Hardy?
I I it doesn't matter, really. There's a bunch of guys out there I'd love to fight.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm sure. Yeah, there's a lot of list of guys coming up there. Last question before we let you go. I know downtime is few and far between for you these days with work and training and everything else. But are you getting in any TV at all? Anything at all to kind of take your mind off everything?
Yeah, actually, after training, I get to go home and watch Netflix, and I know I'm late to the party, but I started watching that 13 Reasons Why. I think that's what it's called. I got done with the first season about halfway through the second. That's been good.
Yeah. A little depressing though, am I right? I mean, it kind of puts you in a bad mood.
Yeah, it absolutely does. But like at this point, I'm so invested, I just have to get through it. Like if I known it was this depressing, I probably wouldn't have started it.
Fair enough. Well, I'll tell you what isn't depressing. Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. It's coming up here July 24th, live on UFC Fight Pass. Jeff, it's always good talking to you, man. I always appreciate the time, especially during work. I mean, that's some commitment right there, trying to do an interview during work hours. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours.
Yeah. So, you know, I like to shout out my team and my teammates and my coaches, my manager. Yeah, you can catch me on social media at Jeff Hughes MMA. I got it pretty simple now, you know. Had a couple people help me out with that. So that's about it. Yeah.